This is example 2 for the additional views and dimensions lesson. To begin example 2, again select New, select the 8.5 by 11 inch drawing template and select OK. Again, we don't want to use the Insert Model View tab, we want to use the View palette. Select your example 2, we'll use our right view as our front view, and drop the 3 remaining views. We're going to do 2 unique things. One of them is we're going to select the right-hand view here, and we're going to use a custom sheet scale for that particular view. So we want that view to be 1:2. So let's even make 1:2 is going to be the best size for that view. The other thing we want to do is add a detailed view. So for our detailed view, we'll select the circle command. Sketch a circle over top of one of these patterned features, then select View Layout and select Detailed View. We can come over to the top right and drop our detailed view. So now we have a larger scaled version zoomed in just around one location of that drawing. Now with that complete, we can look at one of the new types of dimensioning tools. To do so, we'll right-click, select More Dimensions, and select Horizontal Ordinate. You can see that there's 3 methods of ordinate: a simple ordinate dimension, which can go on an angle, a horizontal ordinate, or a vertical ordinate. We want horizontal ordinate. Select the end of your part and drop the dimension. Now you can continue by clicking each one of these holes to drop a dimension. Now I'm going to purposely skip one of my dimensions and move right to the end, and press Escape to get out of my ordinate dimension. Now, to add to this ordinate, you can't simply right-click and say More Dimensions, Ordinate Dimension, because it's going to be asking you for the new 0 location for this new set of ordinate dimensions. To add to an existing list of ordinate dimensions, you have to right-click one of the dimensions and then select Add to Ordinate. Now we've reactivated our Ordinate Dimension tool, and we can select any additional entities we want added to that list of ordinate dimensions. When we're complete, we can press Escape to get out of that command. Let's go ahead and finish dimensioning our sketch. We can come over to our blown up view here, and we'll dimension some of the geometry on this particular view. It's the only remaining thing I have on this view is to dimension that radius. Let's snap things all so that they line up together. Now I'm going to come back down to my right view. We're going to look at adding sketches to a drawing. So I have to make sure I select that view and it's highlighted, and then I'll select Sketch and select the Circle command. It is important that when we create this circle, we're within the highlighted area of this view so that the circle is part of this view. If we drew it out here, it'd be part of the sheet and we wouldn't be able to add relationships to that view. So we want to go within the view and draw 2 circles. And we can see once we've drawn them, we've expanded the size of this view. Now, let's hold Control to select both circles and add an equal relationship. And then we'll add a tangent relationship to each of them to the bottom, and a tangent relationship of each of them to the side of the dovetails. Oh, now that went to the wrong side, so I'm going to press Ctrl-Z to undo that and make sure my center point is inside before I add that relationship. Now when I add the relationship, it's going to snap to the inside. So obviously it's going to the closest location where it's still going to be tangent. Now my circles aren't set in size yet, and the reason for these circles are they're going to be dowels that can be laid in the dovetail to measure the size of the dovetail. So I'll add a dimension. Now I want those to be a standard size dowel, so I'm going to make those a 3/8 dowel. Then I can add a dimension between the two dowels. Now the reason I got that quick error was because this is a sketch and it's as if we were over defining the sketch by adding this dimension. So it was asking us, do you want to be over defining the sketch, or do you simply want this a dimension that you can view? We wanted to make it a dimension we could view. Now there's one more modification we need to make to this dimension, because obviously we've set these dowels in the dovetail, but there's no accurate way of measuring the center to center location of the dowels without simply measuring inside of the dowels and then subtracting from that the diameter, which is possible, but it's easier if I simply select the end of that dimension and drag it to inside the dowels. So now we've got a measurement that can be measured using a vernier. This is one of the reasons why you'd want to add a sketch within a drawing file. I hope this was a help. And just before you complete, make sure you change who it was drawn by and who it was checked by. With that finished, you can save your drawing file, and that completes this exercise.